Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings and another 5-minute review, although this one's a little bit strange because it's not a review of a book, it's a review of several books. And it may get very strange indeed shortly because there's a fly zooming around this room and it may well go in between me and the camera. That'll be irritating. Let's get to it. So here we go. I was sent by an excellent publishing house, Sharp Books, this book of Blood Exhausted by Jamal Evans. I was very grateful for this book because it's not the first book I've read by Jamal. Bearing in mind I've read The Last Roundhead and This Deceitful Light. All of them excellent stories that involve a rather rumbustious, rather cowardly, very entertaining chap called Sir Blandford Candy. And it says in the write-up to the stories that he's the ancestor to Colonel Blimp, an irascible old drunk with a hatred of poets and a love of hats. After an argument with his new neighbour, Alexander Pope, he looks back on his life at the start of the Civil War. That gives you a sort of feel. This is basically Harry Flashman in the Civil War, the English Civil War for my American friends. It is really quite a delightful series. The first couple I've had for some time, and I thought I'd written reviews, but I can't actually find the reviews I'd written, so I thought it was only fair that I should mention all three of them today. So, what do I like about these books? I really like the characterisation. I really like Sir Blandford Candy. He is a really duplicitous, womanising old lech who really likes his beer and brandy and wine. So, you know, perfectly understandable character, personally, as far as I'm concerned. The writing is really nice. Jamal has a very natural kind of style. It gives you the feel of the period, gives you the atmosphere, but without ever labouring the point that he's trying to make it feel like he's writing in the 1600s. It's much, much easier to read than that. And the plots are superb. They really are very good. So, in this one, for example, Blandford Candy is involved in travelling to Holland to try to discover someone who's behind a plot stealing weapons that are deservedly purchased by the British government. But at the same time, he's drawn into a hunt for an assassin after he's caught by the Dutch. And he earns the favour of Princess Sophia of Hanover as he deals with infamous French agents. And that's the thing, these are really well plotted, very much like the Flashman books by George MacDonald Fraser, which I cannot praise highly enough. And the nice thing is that as you read through these, there are little sections where he gives you clues about what's actually happening at that time in England. So, just coming here. The first examination of Sir Arthur Hazelrig before the Council of Both Kingdoms, and you've got a one-page summary of what that was all about, and then you've got a summary of the Battle of Naseby. You've got a true relation to the discovery of the plot against King's Lynn in Norfolk. You've got there's a number of little things. All of these little asides are historical documents, I assume, that have been put down on here by Jamal. If there's anything I dislike about the latest book, it is simply that it is blocks of text. You can see there's no tabbing in there at the beginning of each paragraph or anything. And if I go back to the previous books, give you an example here, just opening it up. Now that's nicely set out for the reader. Makes it a lot easier to get to a particular section when you're reading down the page. Here's another example. where you've got some different types of character sets, but it all makes it stand out that little bit better. So I'm a bit disappointed with the lack of correct formatting. I assume that's because the books are formatted specifically for ebooks, which is sad. I mean, if you're going to produce books for paperback as well, for full printing, then get them properly formatted. But that doesn't detract from the story. Really well written books, thoroughly delightful to read. If you like Flashman, you should like these as well. And that's about it. So, I will now leave you in peace. If you enjoy this channel and you'd like to support getting more videos made reviewing books and so on, go down to the Patreon link at the bottom and you can, for a mere $2 a month, help support the channel, and I'll be very grateful. But if you want to make a comment, go down to the comment section. If you want to subscribe, there's a thing there. If you want to hit the bell, then you'll get told and notified and you can share it and all those good things. And meanwhile, I'm going back to a cup of rather tepid Earl Grey tea mixed with Lapsang Souchong to make it slightly smoky, which is really a very good mix. I can recommend it. Thanks very much for watching and see you soon. Take care. It's good. Right.